articles here from 2017, 2018. One from early 2018 is actually Pulpit and Pen. And I remember at the time, they were slandered. It's true. They were told that they were gossiping. They were, slandering a good man. But they ended up being right. It wasn't the woke people. It wasn't the social justice crowd that was, the first ones to really go after Ravi Zacharias and stuff. It was Pulpit and Pen. It was the Ordinary Times. It was this RaviWatch.com. There's on April 2017, RaviWatch.com started a Twitter account and posted a lot of stuff through 2017, 2018. And you have, this was something that from Dr. Jordan Cooper. He said, those who spoke up about Ravi, apparently several in RZIM, were labeled as unsupportive, divisive, and aiding satanic lies. And this was just for asking questions. This is a common tactic of abusive Christian leaders where questioning is at the very heart satanic. I've experienced this firsthand. May the Ravi situation not be forgotten. Okay, so what he's saying here is that like the warning signs were there, and they were. And yet this wasn't taken seriously, and those who would say anything were called all sorts of names. And this does happen. And we need to separate this from, I think, what the woke crowd would want to do with this. Here's some examples. I'm going to point out some hypocrisy here. So Russell Moore had written this whole article about how basically he's the hero, I guess. He had told, he's not going to have Ravi Zacharias speak at the MLK 50 event. Well, great, Russell Moore. Thanks for telling everyone, right? He didn't tell everyone. Well, there wasn't anything brave about it. He just quietly didn't let Ravi come. Okay. And then, he even says in this is Philip Bethencourt. He shared this about Dr. Russell Moore. For the first time, Dr. Moore has publicly shared, this is the first time Moore has publicly shared how he canceled Ravi Zacharias from speaking at MLK 50 after Lorianne Thompson's, I guess, credible story emerged. Really? So Dr. Moore is now brave enough to come out publicly, whereas he wasn't 2 years ago. I mean, this is self-indictment. I don't even know if Philip Bethencourt realizes what he's sharing here and how it paints Dr. Russell Moore, because it really does paint him bad. Like, you really, Dr. Moore, you had all these concerns and didn't say anything. You had a platform to do something about it, and you have the gall and the nerve to travel around the country and talk about the caring well in the church, sexual abuse in the church, and how bad it is, and yet you didn't say anything about Ravi publicly when you could have. It's interesting, isn't it? So the other thing is, see the humor in this almost. It's just so ironic. Dr. Russell Moore prevents Ravi from coming to speak at MLK 50. So woke preacher clips on Twitter had put this: if you're enraged about Ravi Zacharias but make excuses for Martin Luther King Jr., you've been colonized by the world of flesh and the devil. He uses the word colonized on purpose, I think, because that's the woke people love to use that term, colonized. You've been colonized by the white culture or something. He's saying, well, look, you can't even see the irony of this. You're saying that Ravi Zacharias is so bad, just beyond the pale, you can't have him speak at a conference to honor someone who did the same thing Ravi Zacharias was doing. Do you not see the irony? So Martin Luther King Jr. gets a pass, and you have a whole conference in his honor, and he must be quoted all the time. And yet the guy, he was also a sexual, at the very least, ran around on his wife. According to some of the CIA records, much worse, a predator. And that's okay, I guess, because he's woke or something. So